I hit record. Ha. Cool. All right. Well, we like to start off with some wins. Who's got some wins here they want to share?
Well, I'll start with yesterday. I told you, Trevor, in the
Yep.
group chat, I have a potential recruit from an appointment setting call. But that's insane. So for free, right? Well, not really about the lead, but I just think it's awesome. I still don't know how to interview totally. I've been listening to your interviews just here and there. I'm listening to two of them again today, but I'm looking forward. I'm a little nervous, but I'm also excited.
Nice. Love it.
I have a win from a lighthouse lead that I got a few weeks ago. I wrote let's see, a forester's policy, LGA policy. I just did an accidental yesterday, and today I'm getting ready to do a debt-free life on them, and then an IUL for her, an IUL for her daughter. So I'm super excited.
Love it.
Yesterday, I obviously had my first sale, plus
Yeah.
my first DFL. And then on Saturday, I kept following up with that first appointment I ever did in person. And they're down to write an application. So I'm going back Saturday to do that.
Love it. Follow-up matters. Remember, 80% of all sales are made between the 5th and 12th contact. So if you think you've like dialed through your leads, I've called on my leads once or twice, you haven't dialed through your leads. Like, that's not dialing through leads, right? The reason we're calling them like this and following that cadence is it's just the data, right? The data says between 5 and 12 contacts. Absolutely. Same. I'm for those that know me and don't, my superpower is I will follow up with you until the day I die. Right? Like, as long as I have breath in my body, I will follow up with you forever and ever and ever and ever. But something I've been really like, I know is so important, right? Is tonality and posture. Okay. And how much it matters. So like I did some research on I knew some of the data. But I want to share with you guys how much it matters. So how much, right? If your tone, your pitch, your volume, inflection, how much do you think that matters when you're first talking to someone? What's the percentage?
It's like
right?
92% or something like that.
It's not that crazy. So,
Well, because isn't like your actual words is only like 7%, right?
yes, actual words is only 7%. Right? What you're actually saying is only 7%. That's why we're trying to like change it so much. So there's some studies done. Basically, if you come in with the right influence, tone, and pitch, you are 38% more likely to set an appointment and make that sale, right? Over the phone. Okay. Now, when you get into in person, right? Body language matters, hand movement matters, how you're talking. And why do I say that? You should be doing that when you're even like calling on the phone. Use those hand gestures and movements when you're talking. It will make a muted. It will make a difference on how you're doing it. Okay. Top producers use 2 times more animated gestures than low performers. Double. Okay. So again, if you're sitting there and you're like, "Hi, Mr. Smith, this is Trevor with the Tipton agency. I want to protect your mortgage," right? Like, we know we're not gonna do that, but like, "Hey, Jim, yeah. Hey, it's Trevor," right? Like, your tone, inflection is so important because more and more people, like, I really like, are like, for me, I feel it. It's the backlash of they don't want to do Zoom. Like, it's the COVID backlash of like, they just, heck, Half of them don't even want to talk on the phone. They want to do it via text. So that's never, the insurance carriers are never going to change that. They're not going to let us not talk to them. There's too much on the line. Okay. So now, if you can get them on camera, non-verbal cues will reduce the friction by 20 to 40%. Like, that's a big number of being able to see that, where they're going, what they're doing. Okay. And here's another crazy one. If you can get them in person, when you mirror your client, does everybody know, or do we need to know what mirroring is? Do we know what mirroring is and what it does?
Doing the same like gestures and mannerisms and things like that they do.
Yeah, you're mirroring the person you're talking to. So you're having that conversation. If they're sitting forward, you lean forward. If they're more relaxed and sitting back, you relax and sit back, right? If you mirror a client, your close rate goes up between 10 and 30%, and the same goes for tone. So if you're matching their tone, it's the same thing. Now, keep in mind on that tonality, you don't want to speed up. Even if they're a fast talker, when you go, right, we want to do that. Trust in our insurance sales. How much do you think trust factors whether you make your sale or not? Emily needs that a shirt, needs that to be a t-shirt, 100%. Right? Like, how much do you think that matters? Anyone? This is participatory. It's not a
30%.
Like 100%. I don't know if that's right, but
yeah, it's not quite 100. It's 80. Right? So I'm gonna pull up the data here. I'm looking at it. It also shows if you match your client's tone, you're also 20% less likely to have a chargeback or turn with that client, right? Like, those are massive numbers. But what do you have set up to practice that? Like, what do you have set to remind yourself that you're there, right? What are you doing, right? What does everybody have up as a note? Like, are you getting, I'm telling you, you choose to believe me or not, get on camera when you dial in office hours. Don't sit off camera, show up on camera so you see yourself talking. Okay. So you see yourself, because you'll see yourself, you're like, oh, I'm not smiling, or oh, I got a frown on my face, or right, like, oh, like, why am I making that face? Take advantage and do that and watch yourself there. Okay. Like, it really, really makes like a huge difference. So for those that have been here for a while, what should be the rate of speed you're talking at versus what you're currently talking at? What's the number I teach everyone?
Same.
Nope.
Perhaps.
80%.
75%
5% less.
75%. Yes, correct. I want you to like put a note, a sticker, anything up. I don't care what it is, right? Have a note up that says talk 75%, right, of what you think you're talking, right? So knock a quarter off and take it down. Okay? Because when you have that tonality with people and you can speed it up versus slow it down, that's what matters. Like, where they're doing, what they're doing, where they're going, like, you have to go there because we don't know where it is. Okay? And I've heard this a lot, right? People have been sending our calls. What do we do after we ask a question? What is my 2 favorite words I match together?
Shut up.
Shut up. Right? For the new agents that are brand new, when you ask a question, okay, it's going to feel weird. I don't care if you have to sit on your hands, bite your lips, whatever you have to do not speak. Let them answer, because what they're going to start doing is they might say one thing, and then if you jump in, meanwhile, they're just about to tell you everything. Okay. You have to learn on that problem solving ability to have that tone and let them be uncomfortable.
Can I
Okay.
just say real quick how many times I hear your voice in my head when I just like, I'm like, Trevor says shut up, so just sit here. And I do, and it works. So thank you.
I've literally sat on my hands before. Like I've done that, right? Like I've sat on my hands, right? Like I've done it. Like if you need to get like one of those, like go to Amazon and get like a, what do they call them? A stress ball, right? Like squeeze it, right? Squeeze it, like whatever you need to do, because it's going to feel uncomfortable until you get good at it. Okay. It's going to be like, oh, this is awkward. I'm not comfortable with that. But when it comes through, right? What sounds better when they say, man, that, right? Like, let's talk about cost with tonality, right? If your response is, yes, right. And you start talking in it, oh, yeah, hey, I know cost is there, but I never let a client, stop cost from getting in the way. And, and you start, right? I call it foot and mouth disease, right? You're just sticking your foot in your mouth versus, hey, you know what, Hillary? Thank you for sharing. I completely hear you. Let me ask you a question. When it comes to the cost, are you asking what will it cost if you put it in place, or what it's going to cost you and your family if you don't?
That's like a mic drop moment.
Notice she had to talk because I
Yeah.
used her name and she's like, this is uncomfortable. I have to say something. That's how your clients will feel. But what it is it's going to open them up. But that's right. When they're on you about cost, slowing it down, but ask that. That's the question I ask always. Right. But the tonality and pitch versus, well, yeah, right. The first thing you want to do is you want to explain it's not going to cost a lot. Stop explaining what it is and ask them that simple question. What do you mean? Do you mean what it costs if we invest into this for your family, or what it's going to cost you and your family if you don't? And then we shut up. Okay. Again, it's going to feel awkward. It's going to feel uncomfortable. I get it. But just like Hillary went and unmuted because she was like, yes, like she was like, okay, like Trevor's waiting for me to answer. Oh, I better answer. That's how your clients are going to feel. Okay. Like as you're going through and it's there. And it's that tonality and pitch. Again, for those that are brand new, we have a mix of everyone here. One of the things I want you to do for my brand new agents, even if you're not, so I want you to just take your phone sometime this week when your family, friends, whoever you're hanging out with, and record yourself talking to them and listen how you talk to them. And then make sure you're recording yourself on the phone and then go listen. And I'll bet they don't match. Okay. You need to talk to people like you would talk to your friends. That's like when we call someone, we're not like, hey, Miller. Hi, is this Miller? Right? Like, I'm not like that. I'm like, hey, Miller, sup, bro? Right? Like, that's how I call them. Right? Like, that's how you call your friends and your family. I'm your friend, Eric. Don't say you don't have any friends. We've had lunch together. You got friends now. So, and you got Jay to talk to. So, you got people to practice with. So, but as it goes through, right? Like, that really matters on how we're doing it and where you go. Okay. Like, what you're looking to do. And here's another one you really got to work on is pitch inflection. Okay. Like taking it up and taking your pitch down and knowing when to speak a little more animated versus when to pull back. Right? Like, when do you think those times are?
Well, when you're asking a question, pitch goes up.
Why would the pitch go up when you're asking a question?
Well, you're cueing them, so you're letting them know that you're asking a question.
Correct. Right? Like, hey, it's there. Right? If you feel though that they're excited, be excited. Right? And the same, right? If you're 4 Red Bulls in or Celsius is into, a dial session, no. So I disagree about being monotone. Like, I love what Darian just said. So you mind unmuting for me, Miss Darian?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but it's
No. This is what it's for. This is why we're doing this. Let's talk about this. Okay. So, all right, Miss Darian, what sounds better? Hi, Darian. This is Trevor. I'm calling about your $250,000 mortgage here on 123 Main Street here in Chicago, Illinois. Or, hey, Darian. Hey, this is Trevor Tipton. I'm calling about your $250,000 mortgage here at 123 Main Street over here in Chicago. Which felt better?
the second one,
Right,
for
because it's
sure.
not monotoned.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't monotone is like the the pavers in the road that like flatten asphalt. Like that's what you're
Yeah.
doing. You're just getting run over by one of those if you stay monotone. Okay. But you don't want to be like, hey Darian, hey, this is Trevor. I'm calling about your mortgage, right? Like, hey, how we doing today? Blah 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 blah. Right? It just diarrhea dump on him. Okay. So, but how do you do that? You make 1,000 calls, right? You make those things. Okay. So there is a way to like work on that without like going there. Okay. And then
Add
go
really
ahead.
quick so everybody doesn't call me
No.
Darian.
You don't have to listen. If you keep apologizing, you're gonna get added to the sorry jar list. We have
Okay,
a sorry
okay.
jar list, and every time they apologize to me, they gotta put a buck in it.
Okay, okay. Was about to say it again, but it's Darian.
Oh, Darian, thank you
Yes.
for correcting me. Thank you. The
Thank you.
names are this big, so absolutely correct me.
Okay.
I love it.
thank
If
you.
I'm ever saying a name wrong, 100% correct me.
You're not the only one.
Yeah. No one could say my wife's name right anyways either, so we get it.
Mm.
So, yeah, like absolutely, Kristen, like the cheerleader, like, right? Like this isn't like Bring It On, right? Like we're not talking about the Toros here, okay? So, and everybody said that in their head that knows that movie, by the way. So, but it's that, right? The tonality side of it, and it's there. So how can we get better at this? What can we do to get better?
Role play
Okay, where do we role play?
with our peers,
Where?
office hours.
What's office hours, Katie? We have a bunch of brand new agents on here.
Oh, office hours is the winner's circle. Office hours is where it's at. Office hours is a platform that we use through Zoom, and it is where people can get on, work together, ask questions, listen to calls, listen to someone making dials. You get live feedback. You can get help right then and there. It is, yes, Sandra, it is our MACC room. That is where you get massive action, constant correction. That is the best place for you to be all day long.
All right. So right? So it's there and go practice. Now there's two theories to this, and it was great, right? So for those who were on was Kelly Bush last week, right? Last Thursday, right? Or the week before?
Thursday.
Okay. So I love Kelly and I are wired kind of similarly in how we process sales. Okay. But Kelly didn't come in here with like years of sales experience. Okay. So there's two things, right? You can go role play, and that's great. And you can practice, and it's awesome, right? You've heard Dylan Crane talk about that. I'm on the side of Kelly Bush. I want to fail forward, right? What's better to make 4 hours of practice without talking to anybody, or practice on those clients I'm talking to? Practice and learning and going there. I'd much rather be failing forward and learning so then I can understand how to go and where to go. Okay. So, like, as it goes through there, okay, because what that's going to start teaching you is how to add that question in about costs that I ask, okay, and its tonality, right? The other thing I'll say, I'll bring up within that, right, is especially once we're in an appointment, 100%, not according to Marshall Whalen, that's just data facts. It's not, you will. Like, I get some of my sales, they're a lay down. That's great. They're ready to go. They have their why. Something's happened in their life. They have their reason on why they want to do it. Okay. But you got to learn how to do that, right? Like, and it's, you know, like I'll pick on Sandra here since she said that. So like the question of like when you're also talking to them, you know, Sandra, I know this can feel heavy and I can know this can feel hard, but I can promise you the weight of this conversation is 1,000 times lighter than the conversation of the person that has to call me when it's too late. And I don't take you as one of those people that want to call me when it's too late. Can we agree on that?
Thank you.
Yes, we can agree on that.
So, but what are you doing? You're trying to get another yes out of them,
Mhm.
right? But it is, right? Like for those that have been here a little while, right? Think about the calls of the people calling you when it's too late and they want coverage when it's too late, right? I have this lady I'm working with right now. She's in her 50s and she got a lot of problems and she's a nurse and she's working on it. But man, she's on like propanol and Butin, and she's got all kinds of stuff. I can't get her a term policy. And she's like, I only want a term. I'm like, I just said, look, you can go call whoever you want. I've tried every carrier. I tried the carriers that'll take anybody. I'm like, you're not getting a term policy. It just doesn't exist. She's like, but I had one at work. And I said, yeah, because it was a group policy. Like as soon, and now that you left, because you switched to be a travel nurse because you're making more money. But I'm just like, I can't do it. So you gotta, right? You also have to be willing to have that conversation. And she said, man, I wish I would have called you 2 years ago before I had all this. Right? Like that's what we're trying to do is have that, but you can show empathy in that of how we're doing it. Okay. So back to again, right? Like as we're flowing through, it's there. So like, do you feel that let me ask it this way. How much do you feel your tone affects your money beliefs? Like if I said right now, hey, we need to do $500 a month for this policy to protect your $650,000 mortgage. And they have a $5,000 a month, house payment. Do you think $500 is a lot of money to that person? Maybe. It's also probably not. Okay. So that tonality and how you react and come across to the clients is going to drive what they think and believe. Okay. So again, are you excited when you're sharing options with them? Hey, this is only going to be $200 a month to make sure your home's paid for. Or is it like, hey, this is $200 a month, but I got other options for you. What's your natural default? Right? What's your natural default in there? Ask yourself that. Okay. Like, do you default to, yeah, like $18 a month? I mean, that's nothing. I don't even want to sell an $18 a month policy. I'll be frank. Like, I'll sell it as an accidental if I need to, but I'm not trying to. Right? Like, let's get you more coverage. Let's protect you. You're young, you're healthy. We can get way more things. But it's learning about how to add that side in through that process. So what are you doing to get better at that? Right? Like what training are you going through? What are you doing? What are you working on? It's there. And then taking that side of it and letting it not correlate to setting, an appointment with a DFL pivot. Okay. Are you excited about telling someone that you can get them out of debt? Right? Are you actually excited about it? Like, instead of like being nervous about the pivot, like, hey, that's awesome. I love that you got protected. Let me tell you something. I said, this is what I say to them. I go, I am the devil to the bank. Because I am, right? I have tools to get them out of the matrix and the slave machine. And we do. Like I know that we do. Yep, absolutely. And I say that. Why? Because how does a bank make money? They want it one of two ways. You keep paying that monthly payment every single month, okay? And or you default on the loan and they get to resell it, take all the equity, and then start selling that bank again. but that's there on what they can do, right? Like how much you can literally change someone's life is insane in this country. Again, right? We know, right, how much debt is here. If you're on this call and you're new and you don't know how much debt is in this country, I get it. I'm a broken record, but you're going to hear me say it a million bazillion times. Okay. There's, as of the end of 24, there is 1.77 trillion in student loans, 1.66 in credit card, 1.2 trillion in auto loans, and 12 trillion in home loans. We have infinity clients. Okay. Infinity to help change their lives. And how excited are your clients going to be when you show them that? What's the best cost of a lead? $0, right? We're in business to make money too. The more referrals you get because your client loves you, the more profitable you are. I like buying leads. You heard me just talk about it on the call. Like, I love I don't have to market it. I love I don't have to do all that. It's great. I don't want to do that. I'd much rather spend time doing what we're doing here. But we still have to do it. But if you work those, it's there. So it's in that tonality and how you're doing it. Okay. So the other way you can work on that is just grab someone and yeah, like I have my own IBC in place. I was like, when they explained it, I'm like, I'm an idiot. Why did we not? I didn't put it on me. I put it on Mel because she's 5 years younger than me. So, right, I got that option. But why would I not put it on Mel? Right, I got to pay taxes anyways. Why would we not put a policy in place that's going to fund it? Like that was like, it was just one of those like I'm a dum dum. Like, why do I not have this going? Like, yeah, like it was like literally like a cartoon palm your forehead, like, duh. Like, you have to pay taxes. Why would I not do it? And you may be like, Trevor, I just need to make a sale. That's why I'm on this call, right? But it's gonna come, and I get that. Okay. So as you're going through, okay, and looking at what, like, again, what that tonality can do and what that posture can do, I'm gonna give you a couple books to help with it. All right, because everybody's gonna ask me for some book recommendations. Okay, because that's right. And again, I don't care if you read or you listen, but it's there. Okay, so there's a couple. There's a great one by a guy named Joe Navarro. Okay, it's called What Everybody Is Saying. Okay, like what everybody, like BODY, is saying. Okay. So there's a great book called Just Listen. Okay. It's by Mark Golston. Okay. He literally teaches you how to become a better listener in order to get there. How many of us can say we know people that are like good listeners versus not a good listener? I want you to write in chat what makes a good listener. Keith. Someone that'll shut up, someone who listens, being quiet, not just waiting to respond. They repeat, yep. Love that, Emily, right? Hearing what you say. They don't try to talk over you, correct? Yep. Engage into what they're saying, eye contact. Yep, repeating back. So ask yourself that question. When your client is talking, are you being a good listener? That's just as important because that's tone. Or are you just thinking, I just need to say this next? What are you doing? Are you in your head actively listening to what they say? Or are you listening to them so you can, what I love that a bunch of people said, you repeat it back. So what I hear you saying here is this, okay? Repeat that back to them, right? You want to get another yes out of them. But if you're just thinking about the next thing you're going to say, are you really listening to them? Now, does anybody like being around and hanging out with somebody that's like a crappy listener? No. I don't really know anybody that does. Okay. Or when you call someone like, yeah, absolutely, it's annoying, right? Or, right, the one upper, as I call them the one uppers. Okay. There's a time and place for stories and to share, and it depends on that engaging conversation. Okay. Like where it's going and what it's doing, like what matters there. Um, so it's called What Everybody Is Saying, Keith. It's by Joe Navarro. He's an ex-FBI agent. It's a good book. So yeah, so right, like nobody wants to be around a one-upper. Your clients don't want to be around that. Okay. Right? Your clients don't want to be around the person that's like, um, hey, oh yeah, I had that there. Now, how do you learn how to turn that into a story? Okay. Okay. There's a difference between being a one upper and then saying, well, hey, Lissy, you know what? Know what's awesome is I had a client a couple weeks ago that was in your exact situation. Let me share with you how I was able to help them. You're not, that is how you pivot that versus the one like, hey, let me tell you about what I did. No, let me share with you how I helped someone else. Okay. That's where you got to learn to manage that side of it. Okay. Like that side of it goes from there. Would a bad listener be someone who says, so I hear you say and repeat? I feel like Miller has a specific instance in mind. So what let you got I'm gonna pick on you to share.
No, I'm just saying, sometimes you think you hear what they're saying, and sometimes that's the reason why I'll be quiet sometimes because I don't understand what you're saying. So how do you get around that?
Yeah. And then I asked them a lot. Do you understand? Does that make sense? Right? When we're in the appointment, I want you guys heard on my live dial on Saturday. We got through that critical period process part, and she still didn't understand yet. And I asked her again, do you understand what we're doing? And then she's like, oh no, hey, can we go back? And then when I did it one more time, oh, and then you watched it, right? You watched it click, right? The cartoon light bulb, as I like to say, right? It went, oh, boom. Okay, that makes sense now. Because a lot of times people just agree, but you got to ask them 2 to 3 times like what they're willing to do, and it's there
That was on a
now.
12-month, 15, 18 months, right?
Yeah, and she was confusing that she wasn't quite understanding, but she was scared. She didn't want to say no, but if I open the door, hey, are you there? And you saw when I got done, I make them repeat back to me what their policy does. I want them to be able to say what their coverage does, what it's there, like that kind of thing. Okay. Now let's
Trevor,
talk.
that call was so helpful to listen to. Like, so helpful.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it. Right? Like I want to help as many people as we can. Right? Like it was there. Like it's like this morning, like I had other stuff like scheduled. Like I had to, Jason and the team reached out and asked me to come on that call. Like I'm gonna move stuff when that happens. Um, if I can. So let's talk about charisma. Okay. How many think you either have charisma or you don't? This
I
is
think there's
participatory.
definitely natural charisma, but I think you can learn to be kind of charismatic. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think you can learn to be, for the most part.
So we've met people who are like, wow, that person's like really charismatic. Go listen to Brian Delaney talk at conference, and you'll be like, that dude is charismatic. He's one of the best speakers I've ever heard, and he's just genuinely a good human. But you would say like he's naturally charismatic. If you listen to his story, he'll tell you it wasn't that way 12, 15 years ago. That wasn't, but that wasn't in his DNA naturally. It was something he worked on. Okay. There's literal art and science about how to do that. Okay. Like on how to break that down. Because can we agree that we're more attracted to that? Right? So put in chat for me what you think makes someone charismatic. Tone, body language, smiling, their facial expressions, mannerisms, funny. Do you think it's about how they make you feel? It's about how they make you feel. Correct? Our clients need that from us. Our clients need to know that we care about them and we're there to help them. And we're there to help change that. Does that make sense? Yes. Right? Like when you're around someone that you're like, wow, I love how that person makes me feel. So here's something, and I'm going with this in a direction for a reason. When you go to conference, love the one you're with. Okay? Love the one you're with. If you were talking to someone and have a conversation, I don't care, and I mean this, I don't care if Brandon and Meredith or Casey or Pope walk up. Love the one you're with because they will understand and they will respect that. Okay? Take the time and show that you respect and love and care about the person you're talking to. Okay? Unless you think they're a gigantic twat and then you need to leave. And that's okay. So, right? Like, it's also okay to punt. Like, here's the deal. We're not all going to get along with everybody. Not, right? There's people, I promise you, there's people that listened to me on that call earlier and think I'm full of shit. I don't care, but I promise there was a couple people on there that they can't relate to me and they don't understand. That's all right. Like, I don't have to be friends with everyone, but like, love the one you with, right? Like, think about, right? Well, Netta, let's talk about that. I think that 130, like you and I drove down to, was a great example. Ryan, that is one of Ryan Miller's, because I've got to spend a little time with him now a couple times. Ryan Miller's like superpower. One of them is that to make you feel like you're so special, right? Like, how do you like describe what that was like? So for those that don't know, that are new, kind of give who Miranda and Ryan are and talk about that for a sec.
Ryan Miller is equity partner. Am I right?
Senior partner. He's one
Senior
step
partner.
away.
One step. Okay. Miranda Martin is, you know, I don't care where she is. She's just amazing. They both are. But
Yeah.
when Ryan Miller talked to me, he was looking at me, talking to me directly to me, and Miranda was the same way. In fact, everybody that I have talked to, and I've been here, this will be my 4th national conference. And everybody said, I had a list. I went up and talked, and everybody that I talked to me like they were interested in what I was saying. And I have to say, the person that I was most impressed with, and she was Christine Reif. When I went to an Orlando conference, she actually came over to me and asked me why I was with Symmetry, how I was, how much, who was my family, what did my family do, you know, just very, very interested in me. And I was more interested in her, you know, but she was asking me questions. The same with Ryan and Miranda and Brad Smith and all, you know, the people that you feel like, you know, I felt like I was in some movie thing where I was meeting the stars, you know. It's the people that you see on stage, the people you see on Zoom, the people you see in YouTube, podcast, you know, all of that. And but they're just real people that really want to help. And I've never been in a company like that. And so for them to pour into me, it's just super amazing because I've never had that before. So yeah,
Right,
it was
because
awesome.
because they're leaders. Now, here's the thing, right? As we're growing, right? If you want 8s, 9s, and 10s humans on your team, you got to become one. right? You have to become the person you want to be around, right? I'm transparent. I want in the room with those people, but I got to keep working to like get there. Like I got to keep leveling up to get right to get around, and that's earned, right? That's an earned thing. Okay. It's one of the things that drives me, but it drives me to do it with my clients too. Okay. So from a sales process, you can already also do that. Right. There is literally, right? Understand that when you're there at conference, body language matters 55% more when you're talking to someone. Okay. Right. Like I shared a little bit on the call this morning, right? If you don't know Trish Benish, she's direct to Sarah Reineke. She's literally a doctor, by the way. And she left because she hated it and she wanted to do something else. And Tristan Strickland came up to her at conference and they were talking. And Tristan, she was so excited to meet Tristan. But meanwhile, like Tristan was helping her. Know that even if you like you've only been here 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, right? There's people here you're going to be able to help at conference because there's going to be people that have been there less time that maybe don't have your life experience that are trying to make it work. And so it's that charismatic. So like for the breakout sessions, like we were having a big, like everybody was there and Ryan Miller's leading the call. And that was one of the things like he was like really talking about. And remember this when you're there. From the moment that starts, right? You're helping change people's lives if you're there. It doesn't matter how long you've been at this company, but help create that experience for them. And if you feel like you're not charismatic enough, you can learn like how to do it. Okay. So here, I'll put this in chat. So this is one of the best books ever on charisma. Okay. And about how to break it down. It's probably 10 years old now, maybe a little bit more. And it literally like it's going to debunk a bunch of myths. It's going to show you how much that matters, like what and essentially how you want to like it's a 3-step process, right? You want to destigmatize, neutralize, okay, and then rewrite and reframe what you're doing. We do that on every call we make to a client. So, right now, let's talk about like I'll get you a sec, Katie. As you're going up to them, and you've heard it on a few calls, be prepared. Okay. Don't walk up to them and just go, hey, teach me. Nobody's going to do that. Right. Understand and have purpose and have it planned. So, in that chance, when you're going down an escalator and you turn around and Ryan and Michelle Miller are right behind, or Carl and Michelle Miller are right behind you, and you get to walk back from the conference center to the hotel with them. I was ready. Carl was someone who I wanted to talk to, right? I happen to be prepared for that on questions I want to ask. So have that there, but don't think they're just going to nobody's going to give you everything, right? Be very intentional about what you're trying to learn and why you want to learn it from them. Okay. Be intentional about, hey, I heard you on this call, or I saw you say this, or I was watching you on social media and you said this, right? Like, right? Like, there, and you bet, listen, you guys know I'm going to do this to you. What am I going to ask you if you're talking to me? What is one of the first questions I ask you?
What are you reading?
Yeah. What are you reading? Because that's what I got taught by the leaders here. Because guess what? You're going to get asked that a lot, right? Like, what are you reading? So, like, have that there. But again, right? Like, how do you go it there? And train that. And then I'll keep going. What's up, Katie?
I was just gonna drop a plug for new agents that are on. I will say, like at the Purdy conference, it was my first conference. I just, got really going and started in January. And going to the Purdy conference in March, I roomed with Brandy and we ended up like building this whole group. Like there was like 12 of us. Trevor was like, "Oh God, here comes the posse." Like it was the running joke because it was like me, AVT, Sandra, Brandy, Krista, Tyler. Like there were so many of us and Heidi. And so it's just like the thing that I really want to like bring home into what you were talking about, Trevor, was just because you're a new agent, don't think I don't know anything. Don't think they're not going to talk to me because I'm a new agent. Don't put those thoughts in that mindset in your head because at the end of the day, I got to actually talk to Jonathan Daly. I got to meet Casey Watkins. I got to meet the Matthews. I got to have a long conversation with Trevor. Trevor poured into me. And I am so hard on myself. Those of you that know me, I beat myself to the grave when I don't meet my goals, when I don't meet my expectations. And Trevor poured into me and he really made me see you're doing the right things. You need to stop giving yourself such a hard time. And due to my unfortunate event of an accident of breaking my leg, I had all these goals and all these expectations of myself prior to going to conference. I have done maybe 12% of the 100% that I wanted to do. But we're all dealt with unfortunate things that happen. So just because you're a new agent or just because you may have not written a policy or you've only written one, don't have the mindset that you're too scared to interact with us or interact with agency owners or anything. Like we are here to support you and build you and start running with you. We're not here to watch you do it alone.
100%. Like it's that. It was so much fun to watch there. The way I described it was like the old school Tasmanian Devil cartoon where the Tasmanian Devil's just running around. And he's a full tornado, right? They were just like a tornado wherever they moved. But I loved it, right? Like right? Like what do you so this is a great transition. What do you think it means when Danny, right? You hear Danny Young, right? Like talk about you need to get symmetry in you, right? Like write down in chat. What do you think that means? What does that mean to you? I'm curious to hear what you guys think that means. New people being poured into, belief in the system and people. Okay, have addicted, right? Right.
For me, it is what it has changed in me and how I interact with other people and how I want to help other people and everybody lift each other up. So to me, it becomes part of who you are at your core. It's just it's like your DNA is being fused with symmetry and you find yourself speaking symmetry and even people outside you're talking about leadership, you're talking about the self-growth, you're talking about the drive and pushing through and you're helping encouraging, so it literally becomes part of who you are in your everyday life. It's not just when we're here working.
Yeah. So when you hear that it's symmetry, it goes down to what our core values are, right? We're first and foremost a leadership development company that sells life insurance to fund it. Okay. Like, like, and if you do that and they see that, like you hear, like Sarah just has me saying, I wish there was like, I didn't have to steal hers, but she has it, right? Success leaves clues, right? And success might be you just showed up that day, right? When you didn't want to show up. That we are, right? We're there. But if you, right? If you want to change your life and you want your time back and you want that freedom and you want to help people, like that's how you got to like put that in. But it's why I ended the call right the way I did this morning is a lot of people say that, but then when given the opportunity to let their commitment and their belief match, they're not willing to put the money, their money where the mouth meets the road, right? Because then they still have an excuse, right? oh, well, I just couldn't get to conference. That's why I didn't succeed there. I didn't have the money. It just wasn't for me. Right. Or, oh, then it's like, oh shit, now I actually like, I gotta go. I gotta sell a policy every month just to pay for this. Right. It's not right. You ain't gotta like one policy or more and pay for it. But right, like you gotta know like that belief is in there and it's there. I love, like, I love that my job is like I get to like help people every day. Like, how cool is it? Like, I'm never like, oh my gosh, I have to go help them today. Like, it's the opposite, right? Like, think about how many of us have had a job where you're at the job and you're like, I would rather literally do anything on earth than be here right now. Literally anything, right? That feeling sucks. Like, that sucks, right? Like, how do you, like, you got to reshape your mind with that. And when you do that, guess what? Your tonality is going to change. Your posture is going to change. How you function with them's going to change. What's up, Liz?
I just want to say, I think that this business exposes your weaknesses, and not everyone can
Oh my
look
God.
in the mirror and admit to them that they want to change, grow, get better, listen to people that know better, be teachable, all the things. And I think it just takes a very interesting mindset to be like, I got freaking beaten down yesterday. I can get back up and do it again. I can do it again. I can do it again. A lot of people can't. And I've watched people very close to me try something. Let's take sports, for instance, because I grew up in Salt Lake City. Skiing, snowboarding, wakeboarding. I've watched so many people try and fail and try and fail and try and fail. And I'm just not one of those people. But like, it definitely exposes my weaknesses. So I think the people that can't fail forward and see that it's not a failure, it's just, you just keep trying. So I think that those people quit.
Yeah. So, right, like taking advantage of that, right? Like, man, I'm so pumped, right? Like, Cam's frankly doing what I did, right? Like, I've gotten in the car, I've drove 5, 6, 7 hours to go to a live event, right? Like, I can't wait to, and then he, like, on top, like, he's literally going to go hang out with like Marshall, like, again, like, look who he's going to go hang out with. Like, we know, like, for those who've met him, like, it's awesome, right? Like, that, but that's the thing that will, like, radically change what you want to do and how you want to do it, but you got to figure that out. So, but again, how much time, you put into there is there, and just don't give up on yourself, right? Like, whatever you do, don't give up. So that's it. That's all I got today, boys and girls.
Pam, are you gonna let down your long, luscious locks for everyone today?
Maybe. We'll see.